Hey friends, it's Marie here again. I am sharing a Spellbinders steel rule die today. This is a massive die. It cuts out all the alphabet letters and numbers 1 through 0. And you can cut out a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper using this die, and I think this is really great because you can cut out paper, you can cut out fabric, which I'll be doing, and some other surfaces. And I think it's really fun because you can use these alphabet letters on your cards and your paper craft, your scrapbooking, but you can also use it in different ways if you'd like to do bulletin boards or maybe magnet alphabets for education purposes, or even just customizing gifts. There are so many different ways you can use this alphabet set. So like you've seen here, I've just run this through my platinum die cutting machine. You do need the larger size machine to accommodate this 8.5 by 11 die, but I think it's really handy that you can cut out the whole alphabet at once and have all of those letters on hand. Now I'm going to be taking a piece of red felt and just cutting this out as well. I was honestly surprised at how well it cut out all the different surfaces that I used with it already. When you're using these thicker steel rule dies, all you need is the plate on the bottom, the plate on the top, and then you just run the die through your machine. You don't need the other platform that you usually use with your thin dies. Just the two plates is perfectly fine. Now you can see that this die did cut out these letters from the felt really well, so you have some really fun felt letters here. If you wanted to go ahead and glue these on top of the cardstock pieces, you absolutely could, to give them a little bit more dimension, a little bit more stability, and I think it would be really fun to add these little felt letters to your cards or layouts or anything you're making. I'm actually going to be using a little bit of balsa wood. Now this is actually wood that was available at Spellbinders. I'm not sure if it still is, but this is a little 6x6 sheet of wood that I got from them a while ago and I've never used it. I wanted to see how it cut from this die, so I'm just going to run it through my die cutting machine, and I really loved how it cut out these pieces. Now I realized I did have to be a little bit careful when I'm popping them out because this wood, it does have a grain to it, so sometimes it kind of cracked along some of those edges. So just be careful if you're using some kind of a balsa wood or similar material, but it actually cut really well and I'm kind of surprised by that. So now what I'm doing is cutting out some specific letters. You don't have to go ahead and cut out the whole alphabet if you don't want to. You can just cut your material down to a smaller size, lay it over the letter that you're cutting out, and then just cut it that way. So I'm going to be making a little Christmas ornament today. I want to put the word Noel on the front, so I just need these 4 little letters, and that's what I'm cutting out today. So again, it's the same way with my other 2 materials. You just put that plastic cutting plate underneath, the cutting plate on top, your material over your die, and you run it through your die cutting machine. Now if you're running it through face up like I'm doing, you have to realize that you're going to get some of that cut imprint on your cutting plates, just like you would if you're using a little steel rule die. So if that's going to bother you, make sure you put the specific plate on top that you want that little imprint on, so that you can just kind of manage that. What I'm doing here is I'm just gluing back my letter E back together. It kind of cracked apart, like I said. Just working with that material, it's a little bit different. So I just glued it back together, set it off to the side so it can dry, and I'm moving on with the next part of my ornament. So I've got this little embroidery hoop here. I think it's really fun. And I have some Christmassy kind of fabric that I'm going to apply over it. So I've just got this sort of a plaid pattern. It's a flannel cotton kind of material. I'm just going to put that into my embroidery hoop and trim it off, and that's going to be the background for my ornament. Now Spellbinders does have in store a variety of these little embellishing embroidery hoops. I'm not sure if those would work for this, but you could definitely try it. I think they're really fun. You get a little pack that's got, I think, 2 inches, 3 inches, and 4 inch. I could be wrong, but they have a little variety of sizes of embroidery hoops that you could use and make your own little ornaments. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using those wood pieces, but I thought I would just kind of lay the felt pieces on top and see how they look. I actually really like this look. I think it would be really fun to make an variety and assortment of these embroidery hoop ornaments to give out for the holidays. And it would actually be really fun to even tie them on the top of a gift or customize them with someone's name. So lots of fun things that you can do with these alphabet pieces, and just being able to cut out of a variety of materials gives you a lot of variety of what you can do with this alphabet die. So here's my little wood pieces. I'm layering it over the top. I like the way that it fits on there, but I did want to color them a little bit. So I'm grabbing some Nuvo sparkle spray, and this is their sort of dark brown color, and I'm just going to spritz these letters a little bit, give them a little bit of color, and there's actually a lot of shine in this spray as well. So I went ahead and I let that dry. I sped up the drying process with my heat tool, and I'm going to go ahead and just embellish my embroidery hoop. Now this is really easy. All you need is some cute fabric, a hoop, cut out some of these letters, and then just add your embellishments on top. So I'm adding a little bit of twine string here. That's going to be the part that you can hang onto your tree or decorate with. And then I have a little branch of Christmas leaves and berries, and I don't really use it. I kind of thought it was a little bit ugly, but I did like the leaves, so I'm going to cut that apart and add those as well. To add my letters, I'm just using a little bit of liquid glue and putting it into place so that it can dry right there on the front of my ornament. And here are these little berries and leaves that I've cut apart from a branch that I have, and I'm just adding them. Now I would recommend that you add them with hot glue. I was impatient and I didn't want to run downstairs to get my hot glue gun, so I'm using a little bit of the Craft Perfect red score tape. I don't know if this is going to hold. I might actually go back and add hot glue again later. But for the purpose of this video and getting this ornament done, I'll just use what I had on hand. But that kind of finishes my little ornament here. I just wanted to give you guys a look at this alphabet die, let you know that it can cut out so many different materials and you can use it to customize your Christmas gifts if you wish to. So thanks so much for stopping by. I hope this has given you a little inspiration for maybe some Christmas gifts coming up. You can definitely add these letters to cards or paper crafting if that's what you like to do as well. Don't forget to give a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!